Hi, my name is Zhaoyuan and I go by Nick. I'm a second-year PhD student in the informatics department at University of California, Irvine. On behalf of my co-authors, Işıl Oygür, Daniel Epstein, and Yunan Chen, I'm excited to share our work titled The Lived Experience of Child-Owned Wearables, Comparing Children's and Parents' Perspective on Activity Tracking. Wearables, like activity trackers and smartwatches, have been increasingly popular among children in recent years. Parents introduce some of these wearables to children without any chronic health conditions, hoping they can develop healthy habits through self-tracking of physical activity. In this study, we build upon three bodies of literatures: personal informatics, family informatics, and child's informal learning, to understand how children and parents use child-owned wearables to promote health and well-being. We know relatively little about children's perspective on naturally adopted commercial wearables. However, it is important for us to understand how they experience the wearable strategy for promoting long-term health. Understand how children's and parents' experiences with wearable align and differ is particularly important because children and parents often have different perspectives on technology use. In our work, we're aiming to understand what are children's and parents' motivation for adopting child-owned wearables in family settings, and how are children-owned wearables used by family members in everyday life. To answer these questions, we recruited and conducted a semi-structured interview with 17 families, including 19 children and 18 of their parents. We then analyzed the data in an inductive manner. Our findings highlight differences between children and their parents' motivation on wearable use. Children typically define having a wearable and tracking activity as fun. For most children, having fun was more important than the numbers, such as step numbers tracked through the wearables. Children enjoy checking on numbers and seeing changes in numbers. This use practices indicates children's focus on instant gratification. On the other hand, their parents care about their child's future, hoping them to develop a healthy lifestyle of being active. When we probed children more what they mean when they describe wearable as fun, the answers highlighted two types of motivations, one being self-oriented and the other being defined based on the others. The self-oriented motivation were mostly structured around the excitement that comes with accomplishments. They want the numbers, such as step numbers, to fly up. The other motivation based on others, structured around the excitement of getting a higher numbers than their family members. Parents' focus on the future health and well-being is reflected in how they interpret being active in their daily lives. Instead of focusing on the exact physical activity counts, parents in our study used other standards to evaluate whether their children are active enough. For instance, for some parents, having a regular school day translated to having enough activity. For others, more outside time, instead of staying inside with screen time, are an expectation of being active. Children's focus on tracking as a competitive game is partly related to commercially available wearables method of reporting data, and relating this data to health do not fully support children. In our study, we also observed various co-use practices of the child-owned wearable, such as exercising together as a family and competing with each other. Family enjoys exercising together. However, family co-use practices are mostly limited to collecting and reporting data, but not on reflecting around data. While parents value the educational aspect of the technologies, in the case of wearables and activity tracking, parents do not utilize these opportunities sufficiently, as data reflection is where they can educate children about health awareness, healthy habits, and the meaning of numbers. Our funding opens up opportunity for design improvements that can address parents' and children's unique needs and expectations, especially towards increasing children's health awareness. We argue that it is important to support co-use during the naturally occurring parent-child engagements and make co-use part of the people's lived experiences. This can further enable participatory learning for children and parents. While children are developing health consciousness, parents can further learn about their child's activity behaviors. Co-use practices are mostly structured around children's motivations and promoting daily physical activity, but less towards developing children's health awareness via joint media engagement. Our finding indicates that parental mediation can support children's goal setting. Parents can teach their children about developing a balanced approach to physical activity and to better help children aim long-term health-related goals. Thank you so much.